Still on Amvca dresses, I had previously posted tutorials of how I think some of the dresses were made, but this video I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process of making the dresses by the designers themselves. So some designers have posted how they made some of these outfits. I'm going to pick a few of them and I'm going to show you how the outfits were made from the designers themselves. Let's jump in.
This outfit was made by House of Dover.
They used the hardware of electronics, so they just broke it off and created the patterns, and these are the several parts, and this from computer parts. They also used leather to outline this particular portion you're seeing right here. That's silver leather, that's crystal beads, this is a twist bead. They used those beads to bead the cape area, that structure that you're seeing on the skirt, and then the waistline of the skirt as well. And then they went ahead to also use the leather to also create the patterns on the belly and the bust area of the dress. Now this right here is the scrappy part of electronics on the whole body and tail of the dress, and this is the finished look. Let's jump into the next. This right here is a peacock dress, and this peacock dress was made by Antonia. Now what they did was to create patterns in shape of feathers. Instead of using actual feathers, they used fabric to cut out feather patterns, and they placed it on the dress however they wanted it. They arranged it, and by the time they got the arrangement they wanted to get, they started to hand paint. So this peacock feather right here was hand painted from start to finish. To be able to achieve this dress, you have to learn how to hand paint. So this is the next dress we're going to be working with. This right here, I love it. Let's jump in. First of all, this is the base of the dress. So velvet was used to create the base, and after creating the base, next thing to do is to start cutting out the base of the butterfly. So with that cutting, gumming, using all sorts. Remember that when you're creating the color differences with the butterflies, you also have to paint. So they had to give it several shades, use depends on what you want to do. You can use gum, you can use stiffener, you can use whatever it is to give it that firm look. Also use wires to make it stiff. So they had glitters on it. They colored the whole butterfly patterns. Basically, this is stuff they're adding right there. They're also beading the dress, and then by the time they finish beading the dress, to create that butterfly effect, they decided to place the feathers on the model as she wore the dress. Now usually this is the best thing to do. You'll be able to test for strength, you'll be able to test for how strong your butterfly is. And by the time they were done, this right here was the finished look. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's jump into the next. This right here is the chicken dress. To be honest, I don't know why, and I don't know if the chickens that died were worth it, but this was creativity. I won't deny it. This is the base of the dress, and then the designer decided that after doing such a perfect fitting of this dress, like I could literally wear this dress like this. It's so gorgeous, and the finishing and the everything about the dress is so clean and luxurious. Okay, let's jump to the main detail of this dress, which is the feathers. Off to the poultry. Of course, we need chicken feathers. So they went to the poultry to get as many black chickens as possible. They killed all the black chickens, and the feathers were used to create the feathers in which this dress was created from. So these are all the chickens waiting to be slaughtered. And then their feathers were picked, and they were of course sanitized and all of that, just so that to avoid germs and all sorts. By the time they were sterilized, this is it, and then they were left to dry. They were shaping, and the remaining chicken, they had to cook it and eat it by themselves. But let's jump into the real cocoa of this dress. They began to place the feathers on the dress. Some part of the feathers, they shredded the feathers off. They just had the spikes. For some other parts of the feathers, they just kept fixing in the feathers one bit after another. So what we are seeing in some parts of it, when you see the spikes standing, they took the longer portion of the feathers and they removed all the feathers and left only the stick, and they just went ahead and did the others. This is the finished look, and by the time they were done, they felt that the door was too small for them to pass the dress. They had to drop the dress through the balcony with a ladder, and that's how the dress was moved to the venue. That's how the chicken dress was achieved. Let's jump into Osas Igodao's iron sponge dress, shall we?
So they grabbed an iron sponge, they loosened it out, and they picked a portion of it, cut it and rolled it back, created a knot in middle, and use a silver paint to spray paint it just so that the silver color can pop. And then this right here was the base of the outfit. They placed part of the net on the bust area as well and beaded on top of it with crystal beads. Now the shade was actually the transparent bead. If you look at the base of the fabric behind there, you're going to be seeing silver studs. This is pipe bead in silver as well. They just beaded it with lines, and then for the running part of the fabric they had studs, they had crystals, and this right here is what the masterpiece turned out to be. I also noticed that the edges of the neck and the turtleneck and the neckline area, there were also studs or copchain, whichever one, arranged on the lines just to give the definition, while the pipe beads were just in middle. So this right here is what the masterpiece looked like, and Osas did a good job by actually slaying this outfit. Let's jump into
No need for me to explain this dress. The designer did a good job explaining it herself in a very detailed way. So let's take a look.
The entire wire structure was first perfected almost like a skeleton. It has 48 layers, each layer with its own unique shape that had to be molded, traced onto pure silk organza, which was then hand embroidered, hand beaded, and stitched back onto its own wireframe. It's entirely handcrafted and one of the most time-intensive pieces in the collection.
These are the looks I could pick for now. Thank you for watching my video. I'll see you in my next one.